Welcome back to Dark Corner Studios. My name is Aiden Wolf, and today we're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going to go over my numbers. Now, what are those numbers going to tell you? Well, those numbers are going to tell you exactly how you should be gauging your growth as a small content creator. And this is one of the hardest things to do because usually as a small content creator, you don't have money. Being one of the best ways to gauge your progress is by how much money you make. You don't really have that option. So we're going to go over how a few of the other players in this space tell you should be going over your numbers. I'll show you how to gauge your success and also maybe a way to actually fix some issues before you actually get big enough where fixing them could become a problem. Okay, let's do this. This is Aiden Wolf. So one of the biggest problems as a small content creator is you don't know if what you're putting out is good. I mean, so few people watch your videos, so few people subscribe. So how can you tell you're actually making any headway? Now, the first thing I'd like to point out is a lot of content creators, a lot of YouTubers who are trying to tell you how to get started are telling you not to look at your numbers very often. And there is a good reason for that, despite the fact that they don't actually tell you why. If you're to look at all your numbers day after day after day, you won't see any growth. It will just look stagnant to you because you can't just look at a small sample size and recognize any growth that's happening minute over minute. It doesn't work that way. Growth has to be taken from a bit of a larger angle. Now, let's take a look at the numbers I've had off this YouTube channel, which is a great representation of a small content creator growing. We're going to look at some of my numbers going all the way back to December. The reason for that is I had a video actually kind of pop off a little bit. So I kind of want to exclude that from the mix so I can show you what that slow growth actually looks like. Now, remember I said there's a lot of content creators that tell you not to look at your numbers because frankly, it can be disheartening. When you look at this is a week in December. So this is, I believe, the 15th to the 20th right here. And this shows you actually a bit of a downturn in growth. And that could be really frustrating when you're looking at this. But here's the thing. Because it's only a snapshot of a week, you don't really get to see the growth that's happening on this channel unless you kind of expand your view of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this channel and we are going to back it up another week. And now you're going to see pretty much the same thing, kind of a little bit of a bump in here. No videos released. It was Christmas time, or we were leading up to Christmas, and it was kind of tough. Don't judge me. But throughout here, you can kind of see some decent numbers. But then again, you have that downturn at the end that'll probably get you a little depressed thinking about all the work you're doing. So let's back it up just a little bit more. This time, we're going to go a full month. Okay, so you can see we released a video here on the 22nd. That's showing a nice upswing in views. And then it kind of comes back down to earth and it kind of goes around the same. It's about, I don't know, anywhere from about 109 all the way up to 155, 158 here. So that's actually a pretty decent average as we're going through the videos, right? Every time you have a video, you have a bit of a peak, and that's what's going to happen. Whatever kind of small content creator you are, every time you release something, you're going to see an uptick. Now, don't gauge your success on those upticks because that really doesn't help you. It gives you false confidence. That way, when you end up getting one of these to happen where people really aren't watching your content or listening to your content, it can be really, really demoralizing. Okay, so the 1 month trend shows a little bit of growth in here. I mean, we're down 109, but you see the averages are going up to the 130s. We got a 140, 158, but it's not really showing you a whole lot. Now we're going to open this custom back up and we're going to go to a 3 month mark. Okay. So let's go back to September 20th. Now apply. And this is where it gets really interesting. This is actually seeing the growth in front of your eyes. Now, you saw we started with 1 week, then we moved to 2 weeks, then we moved it to a month. And even within that month, you could see a little bit of growth here and there, but you really couldn't see the big picture. And that's why going back about 3 months will actually show you where you're going. See, now, if you notice in this first week, there's just a little bit of like, you got a peak, you got a little bit down. But when you look at the trend over the 3 months, you can actually see a massive growth happening here. At some cases, double the growth. And that's really important because that shows you that despite all the peaks and valleys, the consistent growth of your channel is going up, meaning it's becoming exponential. So over 1 week, it doesn't really show anything. Over 1 month, it doesn't really show anything. But when you show it over time, you'll notice I've got a low of 40 here. Now, if you move up, you can see some of my lows in this area are double that, 86. And this is over the course of about a month right here. And you continue up and you can see this graph consistently raises above the 75 mark, and then it starts to peak at the 150 mark over here. And this is the great part of watching your growth and seeing how it happens, because this is what will give you confidence. But watching it daily does nothing for you. You cannot see the changes that are happening. So when other content creators tell you not to be looking at your numbers every day, this is what they mean by that. They mean slow down, continue to make your content, and check back in every couple months just to see whether or not you're trending. Because one of the things that will tell you whether or not your content is hitting home is if you have that trend in your line. Whatever metrics you're using, whether it be for podcasting, for streaming, or for YouTube, this is going to tell you everything you need to know. Now, here's the fun part. We're going to expand it even more to see exactly how drastic this growth has been over the course of a year. Now we're looking at exactly 1 year of growth on the channel. Now, if you're wondering why I'm getting all this with no videos, I'd released a couple videos prior to the year that did okay for themselves, but they really didn't give any growth. All they did was give me some views here and there, and they ended up on the YouTube search algorithm once in a while, just because people were searching for them. One was the Mackie video that I did, PreSonus video. They were providing, 20 to 30 views a day, nothing real. But you'll notice right around here, when I started really putting into the YouTube channel again, was around July 7th when I released how to mix down a multi-track file in Adobe Audition. And I mean, it wasn't anything big. It was just kind of to get me back into it. But then you'll notice the growth where it begins. I had in here lows of about 17, 11. But as soon as I started, and right here where you see all the 20, 30 views every day, what happens is every new video you put in here starts to compound that. So you start to get those views. They start to kind of pack on top of each other, which is why your growth is exponential. The more content you have, the more content people can watch. So if one video doesn't do it for somebody, maybe somebody doesn't want a Mackie. Maybe they want the PreSonus, or maybe they want the Rodecaster Pro. I have all of those videos, so depending on which one they want, they're going to watch one of those videos. And that's how this works. That's how your views compound over time. And you'll notice it's a very, very steady growth rhythm all the way through until December 20th of this year. Now, if you want to know why I kind of backed it up to December 20th, let's open that up as well. Here's a good example of why I didn't actually show off as of the grade doesn't look quite as nice, does it? You can see throughout here, this is the same profile we had July 26th, all the way up to right here, December 20th, where I had 91 views. And then all of a sudden I released a video, the Zoom Live track better than the L8. And that's when things did kind of grow for me. I guess that's the best way to put it. One video that caught the algorithm of YouTube all of a sudden doubled my channel. And you're going to see this here. So you can kind of see it here where things went from 118 to 91 all the way up to 287. So in some ways, it actually tripled my channel, which is really fascinating to see. So what does that do for you, seeing those numbers? Well, it means that you might hit it. So keep trying, keep developing your content, keep putting into your content. Now, if you were to compare my last video with my first video, you would see a huge difference in the way it's delivered and just the quality of it, even from the quality of the lighting. I fixed my lighting. The quality of the video shoot. The ISO is a lot lower now, so it's not as grainy. All those things come together for a better watching experience for not only people who like watching my videos, but people that kind of stumble upon them. And that's what's going to give you those little jumps in the numbers. Those people are going to happen upon a decent video that you make 2 years down the road and oh, wow. And then they're going to watch your back catalog and they're probably going to have a chuckle at how bad it used to be. But that goes for everything. That goes for your streaming. That goes for your podcast. It's all going to get better over time. And eventually you're going to put your great knowledge of whatever you're talking about into this bundle along with the great production quality, and you're going to get great content. But it really does take time. So these are some of the things you can do to see your growth over time as a small content creator. Why is that important though? Why do you need to do that? Well, those little growth marks will tell you that people are not only coming to see your content, but they're sticking around to see more of your content. And that is a really important factor. If people are doing a one and done thing, there's something that you're missing. You're not quite hitting the mark with it. So investigate some other videos that are like yours that do well. Maybe they're doing something a little differently, or maybe they're not doing something that you are that is turning people away. And once you can figure that out, how you're packaging all that content to get it out there, you can also kind of decide what content is keeping people, what content's not. And one of the ways you can kind of tell where people are diving out on your content is with this little metric down here, the audience retention. Now, what this is going to show you is exactly where people start losing interest. At the beginning, you can see 98.3%. Somehow there is 1.7% of people that actually ducked out of this video before it even started to play. But you can see as it went on, people started ducking out. At 9 seconds, we only had 76.4% of people, then 70, 65, 62, before we got down to about the 52% of people. And it does waver in and out. It shows where people are getting out of the content. If you look at your relative audience retention, this shows where people are most interested, all the way above average. And you can actually click on it to see exactly where people are kind of curious. Now, let's go to a worse video to see exactly how that performs. We're going to look at the Mackie. Good old Mackie video. I knew it was going to pay for something eventually. Now, we look at the audience retention over time, and this one is a really poor performer. And you can see people duck out right at the Aiden Wolf at the beginning of the video. I guess it is a bit jarring. And then you can see actually the poor lighting in this, the horrible audio that I had, the bad background. I was kind of hand camming it all the way around. People not really interested in this. But if you go to the relative audience retention, you can see where people are a little more bored and then people are a little more interested. So they enjoyed the unpacking. They enjoyed going through all of the things. What did they not enjoy? Me sitting there talking into a microphone like an idiot with headphones on. That hurts. Anyways, once you start to see where people are ducking out of your videos or your content, you'll be able to tailor it a little bit better by looking back at your content with a bit of a critical lens to see, okay, people didn't really want to see me sitting there talking into a microphone with headphones on. I look like a bit of a goof. I really didn't trim the chin hairs there. But that will show you what content you need to start either cutting or refreshing to make it a little bit better for your audience. Okay, so that's about it. That's how you can look at your content as a small content creator to see your growth. I hope this helps you. I hope this is something you can take forward and you can boil down exactly what you need to be creating to get more people to come to your channel or your podcast to make it great. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything I missed or there's something else you want to know. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, maybe hit the like button, and I'll see you. Yes, I'm gonna see you in the next video.